Hi, I'm Psiman and welcome to vlog number 37. And in today's video, I'm going to be responding to some of your comments and feedback and also saying a few thank yous to some of you. Then I'll get on to talking about some gaming that I've been doing recently. Not a great variety, but a couple of games that I've been spending a lot of time in. And then towards the end of the video, I'll be talking about upcoming ideas for videos that I'm either working on at the moment or I'm planning to come in the next couple of weeks. And then, well, I know some of you like my cats. Well, there'll be a section about them at the end of the video. So, I'm going to start by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you who have left comments on my last few videos. I really appreciate this, and there's been a lot of nice support from YouTubers who've been subscribed to this channel for a long time, and also others who have been subscribed or started watching these videos more recently. I really appreciate it. A lot of people have said, just try it, you know, just give this YouTubing business a go. Try and, I mean, obviously, as I said, I'm going to try and do this part-time and then do something else to pick up the, well, it's not going to be picking up the slack, it's going to be making all of the money, because I don't expect to be making much from YouTube ever, but you know, I might be able to make a little bit. I've been looking into YouTube partnership, which I'm a long way off achieving at the moment. I've only got about 300 subscribers. I've got to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views in the last 12 months. So I'm a long way from that. So I've got to build up my channel before I can even start thinking about that. But there are other little revenue streams like Amazon affiliate program. So I've got a video coming up in a few days' time. In fact, a couple of videos where I'm reviewing things, and then there'll be the obviously links to Amazon in there if any of you want to buy the things that I'm talking about. But that question of how do I grow my channel enough, well, that was responded to by Rider Mike, and he came up with a couple of great ideas. They're both connected to social media. So first, thank you very much, Mike, for leaving those comments. There's a lot of detail and information in there, and I really appreciate that. And I know you've been subscribed to this channel for a long time, and I definitely appreciate your comments and your input. But Mike said, social media. You think about using social media because, firstly, YouTube doesn't always feed videos or doesn't always put into your feed videos that are released. He said in one of his comments that the last 2 videos that are uploaded hadn't appeared, and I've noticed that with other people's channels. They just don't appear. And then when I go and look at what they've released recently, it's like only this morning I was watching a video from The Last Gamer, and I nearly always watch everything that he puts up. And I was quite surprised to find that something dropped for a couple of days ago that I didn't see in my YouTube feed. So yeah, obviously for someone like me who's got a very small channel, I need all of the views that I can get to keep the sort of momentum going. I guess the more views you get, the more likes you get, and that then gets your video fed to other people on YouTube's recommended list. When you watch a video, maybe there might be a small chance that one of my videos would be recommended as well. So definitely need to look at another way to get the messaging out that I'm releasing videos. So social media is something that I'm going to need to get involved in. And outside of YouTube, I'm pretty hopeless with with social media. If I'm to be totally honest, I don't really use Facebook. I don't like it very much. I do have a Facebook page for this channel, or the Gamers Living Room channel, so I'm going to start using that and putting things up there. Also Twitter, I've got a Twitter account. hardly ever used it, but that's something that I'm going to look into. So getting more of a social media presence, just educating myself in using social media really is going to be a bit of a challenge for me over the next few weeks. Also, what Mike mentioned was to use Facebook advertising. He said it's not very expensive, so maybe that's something that I could try out. Maybe once I've got a bit more content and I've got a sort of regular flow to the videos that are going up on the channel. Because as it stands, even if I managed to send out an advert and everybody in the world saw it, I really think there'd still only be a tiny number of people that would want to subscribe and continue watching this channel. So I think I'll hold off on the advertising to a bit further down the line once I've got a bit more established in and got a bit of a brand for this channel. Oh God, it sounds so, I don't know, so business-like to say a brand, but I guess having regular content and having a sort of identity of some kind that people recognize. Yeah, I've got to really think long and hard about building that. So there's just so much stuff to learn and to think about. But yes, so thank you very much to Mike for that. Thank you very much to all of you for leaving your comments. And thanks really for watching the videos. I mean, I know if you look at my channel, there are not a lot of views on those videos, 50, 60. Sometimes these vlog videos tend to get a few more views, but still we're only talking about a bit over 100. But I really appreciate those views. And well, I guess if it weren't for you guys, I probably wouldn't bother making these videos. If no one wanted to watch them, I'd just be wasting my time and I might as well just talk to the wall. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so on to the next topic, and that is, well, the gaming that I've been doing recently. And well, of course, you'll know from my past video that I made, or from the last vlog and a video that I made only a week or so ago, I've been playing far too much of this.
Reloading. Frag grenade sent. Reloading. I took an enemy's life.
Nice work.
Let's go this way.
Strong work. We defeated.
Yes, that's Apex Legends. I'm still not very good at it, but I still am having a blast. Well, no pun intended. I'm having a lot of fun. It's a really enjoyable game still. It has its problems, it has its flaws. The more people that are starting to play it, it's actually becoming a bit buggier. Seems to be more stress on the servers. But, you know, that's a normal thing with a very popular multiplayer game. But talking about Apex brings me to another one of your comments, and this was something that was left by Puppy Gaming. And he was talking about toxicity in multiplayer online games. And he said, oh, you know, Apex Legends is not something that I would be really interested in because of that. And I'd have to say, yeah, there obviously is a percentage of the gamers out there that play this game that are young and talk trash, and they can be really abusive even when you're on their team. But on the whole, I'd have to say there's been a big percentage of maybe 20%, 1 in 5 games I've played, where the people I've played with have been like-minded, have been there to play the game properly, and have been really supportive and helpful because it's a team game, so you have to help each other out. So I found, I wouldn't say I've made any friends through it, but I've had those one-off games where I've met some really nice people. And I mentioned this in my video about Apex Legends, but it would be nice to have built within the game a very quick way for you to say, I like you, let's continue playing together, let's form up as a squad without having to go outside of the game to do it. So it would be nice to have that feature, and I'm hoping that's something they add later, because finding a good squad to play with makes these games so much more enjoyable. So that idea of high levels of toxicity, I haven't experienced that. I've probably half of the games that I've played, there's been no communication, verbal communication between the players, people using the in-game ping system to send messages about what they're doing, which is really good. And then, as I said, 20% of the time, really nice people that I've played with. And then maybe 5% of the time, I've come across, oh God, I was playing a game only a couple of days ago, and there were two sounded like teenage guys, not sure where they were from, but they were not from England, because they just started ripping into me about having an English accent. And it all stemmed from me using the ping system to tell them where things are. And then the guy started criticizing me for using it too much. So I used the comms system to talk to him and said, "Look, I'm sorry, but it's part of the game." And he's like, "Oh yeah, stupid British person." And then I just laughed at him. I said, "Oh God, I can't stand playing with children." And he's like, yeah, I bet you're a virgin. Oh God, you and your bad teeth, you idiot British person. It's like, oh God, do you really have to deal with that? And so I muted them and continued playing the game. But it's just, it really spoils the experience. And then a bit further in the match, I got downed. And one of the things about Apex Legends is that even if your teammate has been killed, you can recover their banner and then take it to a respawn point, and they can come back into the game. But of course, these two guys didn't really want to have me around, so they just left me for dead and ran off. So yes, a small percentage of the time that sort of thing does happen, and there are some toxic players out there, but I think on the whole, it's quite a good community. I think better than what I've experienced playing things like Call of Duty, for example. So thank you, Puppy Gaming, for leaving that. And I think maybe I should mention that he has a channel. He has a YouTube channel where he does Let's Plays with very humorous voiceover and plays through games. So if that's your kind of thing, check out Puppy Gaming. It's funny. Okay. And the other thing I'd like to talk about is the second game that I've been playing a lot of, and this is thanks to one of you for mentioning it and reminding me of it. And it's this one.
They're trying to flank us! Okay then.
That's right.
Yes, that is XCOM 2's DLC War of the Chosen. And this is something that I have wanted since it was released, but I was a bit unsure, a bit hesitant about purchasing it because it's pretty much the price of a full game, or at least it was when it first came out. So I thought, oh, it's DLC, it can't really be worth that. And as much as I love it, maybe it's not worth that full price, but I paid about £17 for it, and I've definitely got value for money out of it because it allows you to go back into XCOM and play a different story with different strategy and elements to it that have been added to it. They did it before when they released XCOM Enemy Unknown, the first of the new reboot of XCOM. Then they had Enemy Within, which added a lot to the game and just gave you enough to, I mean, these games are good enough that you'll want to play them more than once anyway, but by releasing these DLCs, they give you a chance to play a different version of the game, and you know, they add a lot of content. And War of the Chosen is brilliant. It really, really is. I mean, XCOM 2 was a great game, but War of the Chosen, just by adding the Chosen, the special like boss enemies to it, and different factions that you have to build your alliance with, really does add an interesting element to the game. So I'd like to say thank you very much to the YouTuber Distorted Alliance for mentioning that, because he said that my video about XCOM got him interested in the game. So thanks back to you for reminding me of War of the Chosen, and I'm having a lot of fun playing that. If it weren't for Apex Legends taking up a lot of my time, I'd probably be just solidly playing War of the Chosen. And if you like turn-based strategy games, XCOM, XCOM 2, and this War of the Chosen DLC are well worth picking up. In fact, looking at Steam, especially when it's the sales, the XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within are really quite cheap these days. So if you're curious, thinking maybe this is the sort of game that I would like, buy those earlier versions of the game, because the same style of game is what you get with XCOM 2. So yeah, it's a good way. XCOM Enemy Unknown is a good way to get into it. Or if you really want to go back in time and play the original XCOM Enemy Unknown, which is a great game but quite different, but yeah, a real blast from the past. Okay, so that's the only gaming I've really been getting into at the moment, but I've got a lot of plans to be doing some retro in the near future, and I'll talk about that in an upcoming video. But I've got a lot of other ideas for videos that are going to be coming soon. So some of you will have seen that I did a news roundup video a few days ago, it was last week sometime. I'm going to be making another one of those this weekend for the first week of March, and talking about some of the stories. I really enjoyed making that video, and I got quite a few nice comments, people saying that they really enjoyed it. And you know, there's so much news out there that sometimes it's difficult to keep up with everything that's going on. So these little news roundup videos are quite good. I love watching them. Things like Tech Linked, the one that's on Linus Tech Tips channel, that's quite good fun. Not my style, I couldn't pull off that kind of humour, but yeah, I do like those. And Review Tech USA, I like watching his stuff too, although he tends to focus on one topic per video. I'm going to sort of look at doing 5 or 6 shorter topics within a longer video. So that video is coming up soon, but the next thing I'd like to talk about is a video that you haven't seen, unfortunately, and that is a gamer's living room episode. It's almost as if God does not want me to continue this series, because I can't find the game that I wanted to talk about. It's really frustrating. I know that I took this game, I'm not going to reveal what it is, but and other early games from that system and took them over to the UAE because I was planning to, if not make a Gamer's Living Room episode, at least make videos about these games. And then I was looking through all of the stuff I've got here, and it's not there. They are not there. In fact, there's quite a few bits that seem to have gone missing in the move. Can't find my Wii U. I can't find my rather expensive pair of platinum headphones that I bought. They're PlayStation, they're not made out of platinum. No, the PlayStation 4 platinum headset. I can't find that anywhere. I thought I'd lost my PC Engine until today. I found it in a box with my Master System and my Super Famicom. So thank goodness I've got that. But yes, I've got the script done for the 7th episode of Gamer's Living Room. I was about to film it a couple of days ago and got all of the stuff out that I needed apart from the game, which is going to form a very big part of the video. So I'm hoping that all of these things that have gone missing weren't stolen or left in the UAE, that they got put into a box and are in my storage unit, which is not that close to where I'm living now. But I'm going back to where my parents live, and it's in that part of the country up in Hertfordshire. So I will be visiting my storage unit, and hopefully that box is there. Hopefully the game that I want to be the focus of the second half of the next episode of Gamer's Living Room will also be there. And then I can, in the next couple of weeks, get that video to you. I really like making those videos. I can't wait to get back to making that series again. And that's been quite disappointing that I couldn't do it. So anyway, so there's one hiccup that stopped me from making a video. But there are a couple of other videos coming out soon. In fact, I've got two kind of hardware review videos. I've bought a new mouse recently and just yesterday got a new pair of gaming headphones or headset. So I've already made one of the videos for that about the mouse and a comparison with my old mouse. And so in the next few days I'll be making one about the headset. So both of those videos will be coming up next week. And then another video that I've been planning to make for a while, but is also connected to the Sega Master System video that I put up recently, and to a comment left by, I'm not sure, I've forgotten who left the comment. I'll put that up here. That very kind person who left a comment about building a sort of, in fact, it's probably a few people who've left comments about the same thing, about keeping the collection small and, I guess, curated and not trying to collect too much stuff. Well, I've been thinking for a while that I want to cut my collection down even smaller than it is. I mean, it's not a big games collection, but I recently saw one episode of a Netflix show called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. And this might not seem like the sort of thing that would interest me. I certainly didn't think it would be, but my wife wanted to watch it, and so I said, okay, well, let's have a look at that. But there was a really interesting thing within that where she was sorting through clothes, and she was talking about, well, only keep the things that bring you joy. And a light bulb went off, and I was like, well, why don't I do that with all of my video games? Only focus on the things that bring me joy. And that joy might be through a nostalgic connection to it, or it might simply be that it's a great game and I really enjoy playing it and want to keep it. But I've got a lot of games here that I've barely played, some I've never played, and a lot that I'm just holding on to because they're considered important within that system's library. And I thought, oh, do I really need them? And so the money I could make from selling those, even if I sell them for really cheap prices on eBay, I can funnel into building that Sega Master System collection and picking up a few of the more expensive games that I've wanted on other systems that I can't really afford at the moment. So, you know, if I could reduce the collection by half, I mean, I've already, before going away to the UAE, I've already been through that process of reduction. I mean, beyond the camera over there, I've got boxes of things that are going to be going up onto eBay sometime soon. But then I reckon half of the other stuff over here, well, maybe not so much what you can see over here, because this is more of the sort of retro stuff, sort of pre PlayStation 2 and original Xbox, whereas that era onwards I've got over there, and there's more of that stuff over there that's off camera. So yeah, I reckon I can chop down a lot of that, although that might be difficult, especially with Microsoft with their Xbox compatibility program, adding new titles to it all the time, and how good some of them look when they're upscaled to 4K. A lot of that Microsoft stuff might be hard to give up, so I don't know. But there will be a video for sure. There will be a video coming about that. So the last topic I'd like to talk about today is my cats. And I didn't talk about them in the last vlog because the news is a bit sad, unfortunately. Maybe I would have been a little bit too upset to talk about it then. It's still a bit upsetting now, but yeah, both of my cats are pretty sick. Little Bella, well, I'll tell you what happened. Obviously, you know, well, those of you who've been watching this channel for a while know that I lived in the UAE and the cats were over there with me. And the day after we all came back, I picked up my little grey cat Bella, who's 4 in May. I picked her up and felt a lump kind of on her chest, and I hadn't noticed that before. And at the time, I was spending a couple of weeks with my parents before moving down here. And after talking to my mum, talking to my wife, they both thought, well, it's probably a cyst. We'd looked on the internet, and cancer in cats that age is quite rare. So we waited a couple of weeks and took her to the vets down here. They biopsied it. Of course, it came back. It was cancer. So she had to have an operation, have a mastectomy essentially. And well, she came through the operation really well. In fact, it was almost like nothing had happened. Maybe it was the drug she was on, I don't know, but she was fine, you know, up and about. She had to wear a little red sweater of sorts. Well, she didn't have to. I could have put one of those plastic collars on her, but after putting Birman through that for a couple of weeks when he had an operation in the summer last year, I thought best not to do that. I didn't think she'd enjoy it, and the little pajama things that she was wearing, she was fine with that. And yeah, all went well, and we took her to an oncologist and had a bit of a chat with them about what we can do next. And they said, based on the fact that it's a stage 2 cancer or a level 2 cancer, or however they phrased it, grade 2, I'm not sure. Anyway, they said that about 6 months to a year is statistically normal for a cat that's got that type of cancer. If we gave her a full mastectomy and gave her radiotherapy or chemotherapy and treatment, she might last 2 to 3 years maybe. But you just can't tell, you know. There are cats who have had the operation and had all the cancer treatment and have died in a very short space of time, and others that have had nothing and lived for years. So we weighed up the pros and cons, and we thought, oh, poor cat, we don't want to put her through a massive operation like that and feeling rubbish from all the cancer treatment, and the fact that we would be down £7,000, which is a lot of money to us. So we decided just to put her on some medicine and just see how things go. Just let her live. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, there are times when you can develop a tumour and nothing more happens and it doesn't come back. It's the case in humans, it's the case in animals as well. But, you know, statistically, as they said, it's quite likely that within 6 months there'll be another tumour. But we're going to get her regularly checked up every 3 months. So April will be her first checkup. So it's really quite sad because, I mean, I know I'm biased, but she is such an adorable, sweet little cat. So nice-tempered. She's never scratches or bites, and she's not affectionate in the same way, or doesn't want the same level of attention as our other cat Birman does, who will demand to be picked up and cuddled. She's not like that. She's more of a sit next to you kind of cat, not sit on your lap or climb up you to be cuddled kind of cat. But she's lovely, sweet, and my little nieces met her at Christmas, and you know, the other cat Birman is beautiful, but Bella's such a little sweetheart and she makes cute little noises, and they fell in love with her. So I hope Bella's around for a lot longer for them to enjoy her as well. But that's not the end of it, because I said both cats are sick. Well, a few weeks ago we noticed that Birman, our 9-year-old Birman, I know it's strange that he doesn't really have a name and we just call him what his breed is, but we started calling him that and it stuck and it just kind of fits for him. So we noticed he was drinking a little bit more water than usual, and he was making a lot of noise in the night for attention, or at least it seemed like that. So we wanted to get him checked out. Was it just the stress of the move, or was it something more serious? Unfortunately, it's something more serious. The poor cat has got chronic kidney disease, which is something that can be managed with diet and medicine, but you can't cure it. His kidneys will fail at some point, hopefully more in the distant future than the near future. But it's been a very sad time for my wife, because she lost her father last year and was left looking after her father's cat, who's pretty old. He was 15 years old. But within a couple of months of her father passing, the cat passed as well, because as we were looking after him, I mean, she was living here in the UK looking after him, I was visiting, we noticed that he was licking his lips a lot and drinking a lot of water. And so I thought best to take him to the vets, get this checked out. And yeah, same thing, chronic kidney disease, but much further developed than what Birman has. And yeah, within a couple of months, unfortunately, he passed as well. So yeah, been a really sad few months, this last year really, for my wife. And then, you know, to have the memory of what happened with her father's cat, the same sort of thing happening to our first cat. And almost, I mean, think about it, we don't have kids, so these little cats definitely for her are a bit like surrogate children, and she loves them dearly. So yeah, it's sad, but you know, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that they will be around for a lot longer because they bring a lot of joy to our lives. Maybe not so much at 4 o'clock in the morning when Birman wants food or just attention, but yeah, I'll definitely miss them when they're gone. So that's enough sad chat. I don't mean to depress you, but I know some of you like to know about the cats, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on them. So thank you very much for sticking around for so long, and there will be a regular upload of videos coming. I've got a few plans for this next week, so stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching from my games room to wherever you are. This is Psiman signing off. Bye bye.